Those first 4 levels are ones you're going to have a relationship with. You're going to be able to influence them. And your first 4 levels will actually take care of the remaining parts of your organization. I promise you. But make sure those first 4 levels are packed, or it's so wide, it will take care of everything. Your 5th level, and your 6th level, and your 7th level, it's going to do the work by itself. But you've got to make sure you've got the impact in the first 4 levels. Now, the second part of what you want to do and how you want to work the compensation plan with the accelerator bonus is this. You want to sponsor people in batches, or in what I call classes. Okay? Let me give an example of what I mean. As I'm enrolling people, what I've realized is sponsoring one person here or a person here, and every now and then, it's cool. I applaud you. But you don't get what Mary got, and that was momentum. You don't have mass times velocity. So I always sponsor in batches. This is why we have a concept that we call the 2020 plan. 2020 plan. The 2020 plan basically says that you're going to do 6 and 6. I'll break it down, 6 and 6, and then 8 and 8. And I'm going to share with you the psychology behind 30 to 60 days is the time frame that we allot for your first 6 on your left and 6 on your right. Over here, we're going to say up to 120 days for your next, and up to 120 days, and this is up to 180 days. Now, why work in batches? Why sponsor in groups? One by one, or what I call onesie, twosie, dance with me, Susie. It's okay, all right? It's okay, but it's you don't create the momentum that Mary has. Why? When I enrolled 12 people, those 12 were in what I call the first class. I want you to imagine that when you go to school, when you were a kid and you went to school, or even college or high school, I want you to imagine you're 12 years old, or maybe, let's say you're 6 years old, but they put you in class with kids who were taking calculus. You probably don't feel like you fit. And you were the only kid, they just put you in that class and everybody else is taking advanced math. You don't feel like you can compete. But if you're 6 years old and you're in the 1st or 2nd grade, and everybody else who you're studying with is in the 1st and 2nd grade, you feel that there's level playing field. So this is why when I enroll people and sponsor, I sponsor in groups. I want this class of people to feel somebody in that class is going to assume the role of the leader. You're going to have that competitive nature between them, and they're going to feel like I can compete, not in a negative way, but they're bouncing their results off of those that came in with them. So if I'm enrolled into the business and you're my sponsor, and you haven't sponsored anybody in 8 weeks or 6 months, and you've got other legs of business that are now sapphires, rubies, and some are, or who haven't done much, I look at even the sapphires, and they've been in maybe 2 years, in an example. In my mind, I'm thinking, wow, they've been in 2 years, and they're sapphire. So what it has the ability to do, it has the ability to make me even think smaller and to think, wow, I shouldn't be looking at going sapphire for 2 years. And so I've suppressed the growth in my organization. But if you sponsored me and within a 60-day period, I'm watching you bring on other people even before me and even after me, then now I feel I can compete with these guys. I just saw him. He got in a week after I did, and he's already sponsored 6 people. So now I feel, wow, I'm behind. I need to get out there and get going. But I won't compare myself, to a Luis Ventura. I won't compare myself to a Emmanuel Bernstein or to a Thomas and Hanley Poulin or Tommy Johnson, because they've already been in a year. They're supposed to have 30 wide. They're supposed to be 40 wide or whatever it may be. And I'm not going to, so they don't motivate me as much as the people who's in my exact same class. And what do I mean by class? The time frame on which we enrolled into the business. So what happens if Mark comes in my class, Angela comes in my class, Edwin comes in, and T. Gray, we all got in by the same sponsor within the last 6 weeks. And Mark goes Sapphire. What do you think Angela believes? She needs to go Sapphire or even Ruby. Why? Because if he did it, what's my excuse? He joined when I joined, I'm going Sapphire. So Angela now sponsors and sells more packages, builds a bigger group. It motivates Edwin, it motivates T. Gray, it motivates me. And if you are the sponsor, your group now is building faster and bigger because you brought people in batches. It creates what I call healthy competition. It's almost like popcorn. If you put one popcorn kernel in your microwave oven, there's a chance it may not even pop. But you put all of those popcorns there together, and you get the right environment, the right system, which is the microwave oven, right? And then you put them all in there together, and then next thing you know, you're waiting for the first one to pop. And you always hear it pop. And then soon afterwards, guess what? The other ones are like, if she's gonna pop, time for me to pop. Pop, pop. And then you'll hear pop, 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 pop. And then at some point, you're gonna hear pop, 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 pop. And that's how you start popping pins, like popcorn. But if you space them out over too long of a period of a time, you don't build that factor because they don't feel like there's anybody in their class that they can leverage their expectations off of. Okay? Now, I never make anybody feel bad about lack of growth or abundance of growth within their class. I'm just going to sponsor, the way that I secure you as a new person in my group is to sponsor someone right behind you and introduce them. Hey, Joe, here, I want to make sure you meet my brand new TSA and partner that we just sponsored. I sponsored him last week and he already is too wide. And I introduced him to Joe. Why? Joe, I just sponsored a week ahead of this new TSA. And so I introduce you guys. Joe, meet my new TSA. Meet Susan. And Susan, here's Joe. Joe just got in a week ago. And Susan just got in this week. She's already sponsored her first 2. She's already binary qualified. Joe's sitting there like, holy smokes, I haven't even had my first boom party. I haven't even sent an iBuumerang. And she's already got 2 people. Joe's now going to move and go to work. See, these are things that we can't put into the numbers because this is the psychology about how to unlock the biggest potential of the compensation plan. It's not just the numbers. The percentages that we pay out are amongst the highest in any company in network marketing. But how and why you do things is what makes the difference.